what she said. Hey, that looks pretty cool.
What? Oh yeah. When it's all put together,
you
you
see
can't.
it?
Yeah, I mean you can see it's in the grill, but you haven't seen the picture?
No. But it looks like
It's on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh yeah, Facebook. Right. Well, but it look. You know what it looks like, right? Looks like a regular style, like regular when they have the super, it's the super
front
truck.
mount.
Yeah, front mount to it. All right, so I've done a ton of crap, done a bunch of back and forth, total pain in the ass little things that have taken way longer than they should have, and I just haven't filmed any of it. So I'll start off with this abortion. This is my shifter setup. So as you can see, I ended up having to weld this tacked at an angle. I had to shorten it because it was too tall to fit in the area. I tried hooking up a bolt here. First I put the pin that it came with that I actually took off the other end here, and the throw was not right. Same with up here, it made it worse. It wasn't good in the hole here. Down here at the end, on this stupid angle, is the best way I can get it to work. Because what was happening was I could get park, and then neutral and reverse were basically the same location. Getting them was impossible. And then D, I couldn't get until I was in third, and I couldn't get first. So it was a big pain in the ass. So this works, it goes into all the gears, and it fits down in the tunnel. So I've spent literally all day playing with that. But it's done, I'm about to install it, and it'll work. Which is huge at this point. When we put the motor back in last night, I had clearance issues with the harness. So, for the transmission. So I actually had to cut out the floor here, and I will have to do some more massaging of this, because I need to clean this up a little bit and then do the floor there. So that's not the end of the world, but that's where I'm at there. So basically today I'm gonna get the shifter back in and make it to where I can shift it in and out of gears. I've got the motor in, I've got, as you can see, the Holley harnesses just laying here. I've got my dipstick and all of that. So basically I'm going to mount up the dipstick tube, get the shifter in, get the wiring and everything routed into the car, and then that's basically going to be it for today. Tomorrow Granberry's supposed to come over, and we're going to play with wiring up all the electrical and go from there. So we need to get a hot side lead to the starter. I need to get a 12 volt switched to the Holley setup, and then I need to get direct battery ran for everything else. So I'm gonna, like I said, get everything routed and rough laid out so we can start looming and do all that stuff tomorrow. Then Thursday I will do some more stuff, basically pushing everything to be done Friday, maybe Saturday. Starting Saturday, we gotta clean and start packing the garage. We are on short notice for leaving, so. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the shifter all in, and then I'll show you that working once it's in, because it's a lot easier when it's bolted down and I don't have to try and hold it. And then we'll go from there. All right, so I got the shifter up. I am using the long shifter from the truck. It will be strapped up obviously better than it is right there. I built a little bracket right there that kind of bolts through the old transmission hole there, and then goes right down to the linkage. And then you can see everything we built back here and the tight quarters that it is. I mean, there's a reason it looked like it did. So that is how that's going to work out. I'm going to go ahead and lower it down, go up top, and bolt the shifter into position and make sure everything works like it's supposed to, which it should, it was, before it went in there. And then I'll show you guys it clicking around. We'll see where we go from there. All right, so I've got everything in. The lines are all ran. I zip tied up some of the stuff there. I've got everything tight. Linkages and everything are all tightened. I reran the little drain hose out to the back here. Got the drive shaft back in and torqued down. Got everything plugged in harness-wise on the motor and trans. So the only thing really I got left to do is put this bottom support on, which two things. One, I'm not 100% sure it's gonna clear my nice little rebar I put there, or whatever bar. But yeah, so I might have to cut that and notch it when we get down, but I can't even put it on because of course I put the lift arms right where it bolts up to. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down real quick and then I'll show you guys the shifter. I'm pretty freaking stoked about that. I mean, I don't know, it was a lot of shit that went into making that shifter work. I tried it in 3 different locations, made 2 different brackets, and then custom made that, reworked the stock bracket from the Subaru, and it all fits in there, barely. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'm gonna let it down, I'll click it through a few gears, show you that, and then at that point, I'm pretty much gonna call it a night, I think. Yeah, probably. And then I think next couple of days or so, Granbury's gonna come over, we're gonna work on some wiring. We need to get the Holly system all tied away and hooked up to where it's gonna go. We need to find and run a few lines from the car harness to make things work. So I'd like to get the majority of that done before we leave so that I can get the dash put back together, so I can get the interior put back together, so I can put more parts in the car, like as a car. So basically, yeah, that's the plan. So let me I'll get to you here in a second and we'll take a look at this. All right, so the interior is a disaster, but let me hold the clicker here. I gotta bypass it because it's... All right, so reverse, neutral, drive, third, second, first. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Pretty stoked indeed. So that's a big thing off the to-do list because now we can move the car, put it back in park. You don't have to worry about the car rolling away, chalking it, all the other crazy stuff. So I'm really stoked that that came out the way it did. I got really just a few things to button up in here. Intake manifold. I need a new oil pressure sensor because that one's trashed, and it's not the right one that works with this Holly system. And then a bunch of wiring. I need to do the cold side, which is pretty close because turbo sits here, goes in there, comes out there, comes in here. So realistically, it's pretty close. And I'm trying to get this thing down to things I can do without a lift because in 2 weeks I lose the lift. So that is what it is at that point, but... Hey, look here. Whatever. Oh, so it's everybody's favorite time.
Fucking sucks.
Wiring. Alright, so here's the plan. So we have... The main engine harness is on the car right now. Okay. So this is all basically loomed and sit where it's going for the most part.
Dominator shit?
That's the Dominator shit. This is... part of that stock harness that comes out right there, okay, and goes over to our windshield wiper and our brake fluid reservoir. Okay. So that wire needs to be integrated. Right. Basically everything that is outside of the firewall right there needs to stay outside the firewall. Okay. Everything else is inside that is inside. Okay. From there, and we can move the car up some more too.
Oh, it's fine. No, it clears.
Alright, so from there we have
a mess.
So we've got these wires that come in, and you got loose wires that need to go to ground and to positive and to an ACC switch.
Okay.
God damn. We're just got some play in it. Green wire goes to the fuel pump, red wire goes to battery, blue wire is attack.
Okay.
That's from the main harness as well. And then there's a transmission harness with the same red and
You have
black
you have
and
the
whatnot.
paperwork for it?
It's all online. It didn't come with any paperwork.
What?
Yeah, it's online. I can look it up. And then those plugs right there go to the box right there.
Okay, yeah, I got all the plugs going to that.
Go into the Dominator.
Okay.
This wire over here, which is has to go to battery,
Okay.
goes to that as well.
So it just goes to, that just needs to go through the firewall.
Well, I think it goes over here, where everything else goes right up to the battery, because it can go across the dash.
Do you have an under dash fuse panel?
Over here, yes.
Okay, that's good. I can go to all of that.
Well, that big wire has to go to the battery. It literally says it in 6 places.
Okay.
Every single warning basically says, get fucked. Now, all those little red ones that say battery, those can go to to that fuse panel. That's fine.
Well, that's the thing. The fuse panel is a big bus to go. It's a big wire.
I get that. It specifically says, do not do that for that one.
Metal is conductive, but I'm looking at it.
And so that's another reason why I'm opening this up. I figured we can run that wire right through here because it drops literally right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
And there's plenty of the wire to do it. So I've been going through this. Like, I got this, which obviously looks like it goes to a
Ground.
or to an alternator or starter. I don't know. So I was opening.
Hopefully we can still use it.
Exactly, because that actually doesn't. That goes.
This looks like it's blocked.
It goes into here.
This is the main bus wire. Was it white?
Yeah.
It wasn't white.
It was taped up black.
Taped up black. Okay.
The main bus wire, I think, is this one right here, coming off the battery.
Yeah, but you normally have one that goes to the starter. Oh, this goes to the starter.
Either starter or alternator.
Let me see. That's how it's gonna be.
That's probably the alternator. So that might be
The part that goes to the starter.
either the starter or the alternator. This might be the alternator. It's longer, I think. Yeah.
What was the alternator on the car?
Over there, and then the starter, I believe,
It's on this
was
side.
right here, like
Okay,
so.
that makes sense.
So I think that is how that goes. So that being the case, we still want this to go to our alternator,
And that to go to our starter.
and our alternator is going to be
What side is your starter on?
over there. Starter's way over there.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So this is gonna have to be extended with a new.
You got wire that big?
I don't think I have enough that long. Well, that's gonna depend on how much you like.
Oh, fuck.
Do you like this wire?
I mean, it'll work.
I've heard people go back and forth on speaker wire or stereo
It doesn't matter. It's
power.
It'll
wire.
work. It'll work. You
I
got
think
lugs?
I do have some lugs.
Alright, it'll work.
So we can wire that
Ghetto.
somewhere nicely from the harness. So basically the wires can kind of lay loose up here. Anything we're gonna run around, I would like to tie into some of the stuff that's laying in the back there.
Okay.
But for the most part, yeah, we're just running wires and figuring out what's what. Like, I would like to figure out what's what in this deal here and eliminate anything we don't need or reuse for something we do need. The thing is, for most of the things for the engine, the Dominator handles it. The fans and all that stuff is stuff that'll have to be done off of
But the
this.
Dominator does that. Dominator has fan switches, right?
It has outs that I can do for fans.
But that's all you need, though.
Well, but I still had to run wires from the Dominator to this.
That's fine. I would rather do that than try to. I would have the Dominator control most of the car.
I mean, that's the plan. I just don't have I don't have the harness for that. I don't think.
Where's the fan at?
Well, I don't even have fans, bro.
What? What are you doing?
I don't have a radiator yet.
What?
Listen, things.
What are you doing, sir?
Building a race car.
Well,
Slowly.
You still want to tag it onto the Dominator because then you can set the time, when you want it to come on and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you.
I would use that fuse panel just for power for the Dominator.
Well,
and
so
all
that fuse panel can be where the relay is, and you send the signal to that panel. And so we just
go to the fan relay, find out.
Yeah. So we still use the relay here. We just need the trigger that goes to the Dominator.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the trigger that goes. Yeah, but that should go off your temperature gauge.
Which is in the Dominator.
Right.
So I just need
hopefully it's not the same one.
I just need whatever the trigger coming out of the Dominator for that is to go.
Unless it went to the computer.
I don't fucking know. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it probably went to the computer on the Super.
And well, if it's out to here, I had it into there. You know what I mean?
But you don't have a computer. Well, I'm saying ECU may have ran the may have been the trigger.
It may have. Well, here's the thing. So I got main fan 1 and 2.
Okay, so yeah, we'll find it.
Which
We'll
is
just find the wire.
well. So I can tell you right now. That's well, actually only main fan.
Are you just gonna use the big fan?
Main fan 1 and sub fan 1 are the only ones that have relays on right here.
Yeah. Are you gonna use the big fan?
I don't know what I'm doing for that. I'm gonna get a radiator set up that's gonna fit in the opening and be as big as I can get it.
The radiator?
Yeah. Because it's gonna need all the cooling. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be a custom setup that I will figure out.
They say the one that comes on the Thunderbird is the best one. It's electric fan with the shroud already.
Yeah.
It's the biggest. It blows the most air.
I'll probably end up doing something like Joe's, a pretty much custom built unit.
No, not the radiator, just the fan.
Oh,
Just
the
the fan
fans?
assembly. Yeah, you buy them AutoZone. They fucking go. It's one. It's
Yeah.
a big ass one too.
I don't know yet. But yeah, so that's what we gotta do. So I'm gonna keep cutting into this harness over here and get to the harness in there, and we can start thinning out what we don't need.
Yeah, we gotta hook the battery up so I can do voltage checks.
Well, and you had a wiring harness guide for this at one point, which was helping us a ton.
Yeah, I know. I gotta look at that.
So if we can find that, watch what you lean on, because that broke and it's just sitting there.
This broke?
Yeah, the rubber grommet that keeps it in the thing broke. So it's literally just sitting on the deal. Probably going to be a lot of content. I don't know if you guys have figured out by now, but I do a weekly release on projects as we go. And so 2 weeks my time is going to be quite a few weeks in your time. So is what it is. If you guys want to know what's going on sooner and see where we're at with things, check us out on the Instagram and Facebook page. It's Wasted Talent Fabrications. And you can see stuff like that. But for, you know, personal reasons and a life and everything else, a job, I got to space these out and keep the content flowing on a regular basis for you guys. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll check you out on the next one.